Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into a really powerful story about courage, dignity, and the absolutely incredible transformative power of education. It's the story of a girl named Bali.
And that brings us to the big question we're going to explore. What does it actually take to turn someone the whole world has written off as a simpleton into a true masterpiece?
So our story kicks off with this young girl. Her real name was Suleika, but pretty much everyone just called her Boli. And she's living in this world of just complete neglect and rock-bottom expectations.
And that name, Boli, it literally means simpleton. This wasn't just some cute nickname, It was a label. It defined exactly how everyone, and I mean everyone, including her own family, saw her as this foolish, backward kid.
So how did she end up with a label like that? Well, it was just one tragedy after another. When she was just a baby, she fell, and it was thought to have damaged her brain. Then she got smallpox, which left her face permanently scarred. All of this led to her developing a stammer, and of course, the other kids would just relentlessly make fun of her for it. So you know what she did? She just stopped talking.
And at home? The difference in how she was treated was just, wow. It was night and day. Her brothers? Oh, they were sent off to the city for school, for college. They were seen as healthy, strong, the future. But Boli? She got the old hand-me-down clothes and was basically seen as this big worry, with no looks and no intelligence.
But then, something completely unexpected happens. A moment that will change her entire life. A brand new primary school for girls opens up in the village, and a government official tells Boli's father he needs to set an example and send one of his daughters. That one command, that was the turning point. So what was her first reaction? Pure, absolute terror. She yanks her hand away from her father and just starts screaming. And you might wonder, why was she so scared? Well, the only other time she'd seen someone in her household get led away like that, it was their old cow, Lakshmi, being taken away to be sold. She thought it was her turn.
But then, something happens that has never happened before in her entire life. They actually gave her a bath. They rubbed oil into her dry, matted hair, and she was given a clean dress to wear. Now, it was an old one of her sister's, sure, but it was clean. For a kid who had known nothing but neglect, these tiny acts of care felt, well, revolutionary.
And it was those simple things, getting cleaned up, wearing a clean dress, that's what did it. It was the first time she started to think, hey, maybe I'm being taken to a place that's actually better than my own home. A little glimmer of hope right before she even got to the classroom.
Because it's at this school where she meets the one person who's about to change everything. It just goes to show you how a single person's kindness can literally start a revolution inside someone's heart.
Just imagine this. Boli tries to say her name. She stammers, and all the other girls start laughing. But the teacher, she doesn't. Instead, she speaks to her so gently. This quote just says it all. The teacher's voice was so soft and soothing. In all her life, she had never been called like that. It touched her heart. That was the first time anyone had ever shown her that kind of encouragement. And the teacher doesn't just stop at being kind. She gives Boli something she's never, ever had before. A plan, a vision for her future. She lays out this clear, hopeful path. First, you'll read this book, then an even bigger book, and one day you'll be the most learned person in this whole village and you'll speak perfectly without any stammer at all. For the very first time, Boli had a goal to work towards.
And you know what? The change was instant. It was powerful. When she left school that day, her heart was just pounding, not with fear, but with this brand new hope for a brand new life. The transformation was officially underway.
All right, so let's fast forward a bit. Years go by, Boli gets her education, and now we get to the real climax of the story, her wedding day. This is where her newfound strength and self-respect are about to be put to the ultimate test.
So, a marriage is arranged for her with this guy named Bishamber, and let's just say he's not exactly Prince Charming. He's old, almost her father's age, he has a limp, and he's a widower with kids of his own. But he's rich, and he's not asking for a dowry, so her parents, who still see her as a dumb cow, they jump at the chance.
But at the wedding, the moment of the ceremony, Bishamber sees the pockmarks on Boli's face, really sees them for the first time, and he just stops. His greed completely takes over. Right there in front of everyone, he demands a dowry of 5,000 rupees, humiliating her father and basically putting a price tag on her.
Her poor father is begging. He puts the money at the groom's feet. But just as Bishamber reaches to put the garland on her, something incredible happens. Bholi speaks, and her voice, it doesn't stammer, not even a little. It's crystal clear for everyone to hear as she completely rejects him.
You can just imagine the shock, right? The crowd is stunned. They start calling her shameless, but she's not done. She turns on them and declares that the dumb cow they all knew, well, she's speaking now. She doesn't just confront the groom, she confronts the whole community that looked down on her entire life. What a moment of defiance. And that moment, that's the turning point. This is where we get to the resolution. The girl they called Bholi, the simpleton, well, she's gone. In her place is Suleika, and she is ready to claim her name and her own future.
After the groom storms off, her father is heartbroken, asking, what's going to happen to you now? And Suleika, just calm and collected, tells him exactly what's going to happen. She says she won't be a burden. She's going to take care of her parents. And she's going to teach in the very same school that gave her a new life.
And her teacher, who's been watching this whole time from a corner, the way she sees it is just perfect. This final line captures the entire journey beautifully. She looks at Suleika, and in her smiling eyes, she sees the same deep satisfaction an artist feels when they look at their finished masterpiece. The transformation is complete.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Why does a story like this still hit so hard today? Well, because its message is just as urgent as ever. It's a perfect reflection of real-world initiatives like Beti Bachao, Beti Badao, Save the Daughter, Educate the Daughter. It's a reminder of the massive impact of giving every single girl a fair chance.
Bholi's story really leaves us with this one big, powerful question to think about. Her potential was always there, wasn't it? It just needed one person, one teacher, to believe in her and help it grow. So if one kind teacher could help create a masterpiece, just imagine what an entire society, a whole world committed to educating and empowering every child, could achieve.